So many of you probably have seen the great debates that are raging right now about whether or not a degree should be mandated in EMS. A collective body, a collective group of EMS bodies have come together and said that they believe that a degree should be required or rather mandated for EMS. And then they published their work. And then on December 30th, 2018, a group of fire-specific agencies led by the International Association of Firefighters published their joint response opposing this measure. And what's interesting is that it has sparked a debate, and this debate is getting rather heated. And I don't really know how many people have actually taken the time to kind of dive into the IAFF's methodology or the details of their response. But if you do go into it, you'll see that it's not that they oppose education for EMS. It's that they're concerned about the mandate requirement that you have to have a degree. And I certainly can understand this, at least understand where they're coming from. One thing I think that we do need as an industry is probably at some point to cross the education bridge and take a definitive approach to it. But I don't believe that mandating education is going to be the correct path. There are plenty of very intelligent, very smart, passionate paramedics out there, and EMTs and advanced EMTs that do not have a college degree. And that doesn't mean that they aren't qualified or that they shouldn't be there. I'm also concerned about whether or not we might push people out of their jobs or overlook people that are qualified. There is a mechanism here in the US to help people become trained, to help them become great leaders, to help them become qualified to run and manage an organization. And they can obtain a lot of these courses through the National Fire Academy. And while the name is a bit misleading, it is open to EMS-specific agencies. And there are several people who have no fire experience, no fire certification, who have taken classes there and can tell you about some of the courses there and their experience. I sometimes wonder if we don't, as paramedics, as EMS professionals, get too caught up in this whole fire versus EMS thing. Because in almost all of the debates online I've read, at some point someone says, well, firefighters shouldn't tell us this or that. But I have several great friends who are both firefighters and paramedics. And the reality is there's a good portion of departments that are fighting fires and providing EMS. A good friend of mine also pointed out that at some point EMS has to determine, are we going to be a public service entity, or are we going to be more aligned with healthcare? And the reality is that EMS is both. We are healthcare focused and we are public service. We just have to figure out how we're going to fit into both buckets. Yes, a degree is great. No, it will not make us more professional. No, it will not increase reimbursements. No, it will not solve a lot of problems. Neither did any of those plastic laminated AHA cards or any other certifications that we obtained after our initial education. But with all education, we do benefit. And there are going to be inherently challenges that come with implementing any type of degree. And I think that what people maybe lose sight of is we should work towards requiring education above and beyond certification at some point. It should be a goal of ours. At what point? How long will it take for it to become completely feasible? I don't truly know. And I don't think that anyone that took the stance within the bodies that published the initial paper from the joint EMS perspective said that tomorrow, we just have to have everyone in EMS have a degree. And I don't think anyone from the opposing side said that we should never, ever, ever have a mandated degree. But there is no such thing, in my opinion, as a degree that is useless, because simply going to college and going through the process of learning to study, of learning to pay attention, of taking classes that you don't necessarily want to take, there's benefit in that. And then achieving the accomplishment of earning a degree in itself is very rewarding. And I don't know anyone that has ever earned a degree of any form who says, man, I wish I never had taken those courses and never earned that degree. So with that said, I would say is that please take the time to read both sides of the argument, and remember that both sides believe that they want to improve our industry, and that they can improve our industry, and that they are looking out for the entities or the bodies that they are supposed to represent, whether it is a specific individual or an agency, a city, a county, etc. But regardless, it is great to see people out there debating the topics and being so passionate, because if no one did, that means no one would care. And that truly would be scary. Thanks for your time.